Hello everyone! This is Katie Colleen here. Welcome back, Colleen Clan, or if you're new, then come join the family for a new craft room tour. I am so excited. We moved into this house about 4 or 5 months ago now, and I just have not gotten around to cleaning this room up enough for it to be presentable for a YouTube tour. But now I feel like it's okay. And now we are homeowners! Woohoo! We bought a house. We are done with the rentals. We are now homeowners. I am so excited to say that. Let's just get into the craft room tour. We are already in one of my craft rooms with this filming backdrop, so let me show you what is behind me. Let's start with that first. Okay, so here is what is in the background of my videos. I am so excited to have this bulletin board. So this is all of my con badges, as well as some con badges from other people that I've attended cons with or other people in my family. All of these cons I've been to, except the one for PAX is my brother's, which somehow ended up on this board, and I unfortunately never went to the Paris Sci-Fi and Manga Show. Those are my dad's tickets. I'm like way too proud of this bulletin board because it just shows how long I've been like doing this, and it's just crazy. So that's the bulletin board, and then moving over, I have the start of my figurines. Also, this is where I put anything that people give me at con. Someone gave me a rock, someone gave me a sushi, someone else gave me this lovely Katra. So they all go in the background, and you can see them in the background of my videos. Here is my Naruto section. I have my bootleg Naruto figurines. And then my One Piece section. Then going up to the next shelf is all of my DC Comics. So all my DC Comics action figures, figurines. I clearly have a lot of stuff for the Flash because he is my favorite. And then just some other figurines. I got some Mulan. I got my little plushie. So then there's one more shelf above that, which you actually never see in the background of my videos. It's a little too tall. So there's the top shelf. That's what that looks like. So the sparkly thing in the corner is actually my graduation cap from when I graduated with my engineering degree. Then I have some more figurines and stuff. The bottles from Ren Fair and some pop figurines. There's my backdrop, and then let's move on to the vanity. Okay, so here is my makeup vanity. I also had this in our rental house. I used to just do all my cosplay makeup in the bathroom, but it wasn't like really comfortable for me to be able to sit and do my makeup in the bathroom, and the lighting wasn't that great, so I got a vanity. So here's all my makeup stuff. I have some jewelry stuff, and I'll take you through a quick tour of what's in all of these drawers down here as well. There's you guys. And drawer number 1 is all of my Decora hair clips and stuff. All my accessories. This drawer is all of my wig styling tools, my straightener, curler, hair dryer, and then I have a bin with like makeup and wig caps and stuff. And then here is more wig styling stuff. And then this last drawer is all makeup palettes. It's kind of hard to see in there, but it's a bunch of palettes. The next thing we have is a rack of cosplays. Yep. So between my vanity and my sewing desk, I have this rack. This is supposed to be in progress cosplays. That was the idea. As of right now, I am on like an off season from conventions. I don't have another convention until April. So instead of this being an in progress rack, it's more like stuff that was previously in progress or unfinished cosplay shame pile. The only thing that really belongs here is this bag of Valentine's Day stuff that I still need to film. Naruto headband, I guess. So I have Rock Lee here, Might Guy, what I wanted to be my Kipo cosplay, so the jumpsuit's on here. I actually made almost all of a 1980s Supergirl cosplay once, and I just never made the cape or the belt. So this is still just sitting on this rack, waiting and hoping and dreaming of the day that I will finally come back and finish it and wear it. Will that day happen? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll ever finish that one. And then this is part of my Her Universe build back there. There was really no good way to store my Her Universe fashion show build, so it's kind of broken up between the two rooms in like various places, and I just have not thought of a good way to store it yet, so you're just gonna see pieces of it everywhere. So then on this side is my sewing desk area. So we are here again with the sewing desk. So I have my sewing machine and my serger. They just stay here pretty much all the time unless I'm doing like foam work or painting work or something. The shelves are a bit chaotic, but I promise there's a reason I have it set up like this. Basically, the idea is that once I have all the fabric cut out and I bring it to this table, I can just sit in this chair and reach basically anything I need, and I don't have to stand up as much. When we were, you know, looking at a house to buy and looking at how I was gonna set up my craft room, I really dreamed of having a craft room where I could just use my wheelchair and just kind of like wheel between the areas. Unfortunately, this room isn't quite big enough to make it reasonable for me to use my wheelchair around here, but this works too. And this is the system I had in the old house as well. I just have a chair that sits here and I can reach everything. So let me show you a bit of what is on all the shelves and stuff. Okay, so now it is a point of view video where you are Colleen and you are about to sew a project. Oh, for those that are curious, I have the Opal Husqvarna sewing machine. I love it. And then I have the Elna serger. So starting with, I guess, the ground maybe. So I have this little thing that's on the ground next to my chair, and it just has a whole bunch of, wow, that's a mess. It has a whole bunch of sewing notions in it and all of my threads that I haven't been using for a while. So I should be able to grab pretty much any thread without having to get up. And then in this first cubby, I guess, I have all of my spray paints, all of my glues, and all of my tapes. And then this one is a mess. This has a lot of my notions like trims, laces, my grommet tool. Then I have paint brushes for if I need to paint on this desk. I have my buttons, bobbins, and then here is just all of my little tools. So I have pens, little measuring tools, rippers, and then I have extra thread, more buttons. I also have a drawer here which has like my scissors and stuff. Screwdrivers and tweezers are all in this drawer right here. Then the very top shelf is all of my patterns. Then that's paints, and then you know, my heat gun, my Dremel. I think there's a camera in that. So this is how it looks from a distance. Then we have this beautiful view out the window. And I have a giant mirror. This room, it's not a room, that's just our heat pump, so ignore that one. Ignore that door, there's nothing cosplay back there. And then you'll notice I have these big closet doors. What could be inside? This is Cosplay Closet number 1. So this closet was intended to be more recent cosplays. Cosplays I had finished, so they weren't necessarily work in progress, but that I was planning on wearing in the next few months, or cosplays I wear rather frequently. A lot of you guys have been asking how I store my costumes. So let me show you. This is a good example. So each costume is in a garment bag. That does mean I had to buy garment bags, so there you go, maybe not as great an option for you, but it works for me. And each garment bag has everything for that cosplay that I can possibly fit in a garment bag. So this one is for Queen Bee. If I open up the garment bag, you can see that it has the top, it has the pants, it has the skirt in the back, and then in the bottom of the garment bag, it has the miraculous, it has the mask, it has my bee stinger, and oh, it even has my crutch covers in here too. I forgot about those. And basically everything I can possibly fit in here that is just for this cosplay. Now this system only works so well if you reuse a lot of pieces. I have a few shoes that I use for 2 or 3 different cosplays, so they just kind of travel between garment bags. It also fails a little bit if you have a wig you use for multiple cosplays. I have one Supergirl wig that I use for like all my Supergirls, so that wig travels a bit. But I still really like this system. It's really easy for me to just look in the little window and tell what costume it is, and everything's here. You know, I'm not trying to get into Queen Bee and then unable to find the little miraculous pin or unable to find my mask. It's all in one place and it all just hangs in the closet. And I always wash my costumes before I put them back in the garment bag, so then I know everything is clean, it's not dusty, it usually smells pretty good. And I can just grab that one garment bag and go. I can say a lot of good things about the system, but also it really eats up your closet space, hence the 2 cosplay closets. So let me give you a closer look of the inside of this closet so you can kind of see how I store things. Okay, so starting with the very top of the closet. So those are all styled wigs at the very top. Those can't fit in the garment bags without damaging the styling, so that's where they sit. And then when we get to the actual rack, these are costumes I have worn recently, I guess. You can see Captain America. This is the Chespin cosplay I wore for Pass the Brush. This is Wonder Girl. I'm not really sure what she's doing here. And then that's Superman. And then my formal Carmen cosplay. Adora, Queen Bee, Supergirl. And the wig bin. The wig bin. It has an entire bin full of wigs. That's it, it's all wigs. And these are all wigs that are not associated like with a specific cosplay, because they're not in garment bags, okay? These are all like my extra ones. Oh, and find the Her Universe build. There's my Her Universe wig. We are done with the first room, and we can go on to the second craft room. Now exiting craft room number 1. Then you go down the hall. And this is craft room number 2. Welcome to my second craft room, which is also a guest bedroom featuring Mr. Caterpillar. So this room was originally not going to be a craft room. It was going to just be a guest bedroom. But the thing is, we don't really have many guests. This room is dedicated to cosplay storage and also cutting out fabric. It is a bit more effort for me to walk between the rooms, but I ultimately decided this was best, and that is because clutter was a big problem in the old house with the old setup. So in the old house, I had everything in one room, and it just got really crowded, and I don't walk super steady. I'm not great at walking, so I kept smashing my legs into things, and it really made sewing and crafting a lot less fun. So we decided that the guest room would also be partly for crafting, just so the spaces could be really open. So there is the door I walked in. There's my Haikyuu wall scroll, my Bleach wall scroll, my Naruto wall scroll, and my Force of Will wall scrolls. Those are actually from a card game, so I wouldn't expect anyone to actually recognize them. So from there, all of my fabric cutting actually happens on the floor. So here is my big cutting mat where I cut all my fabric. I do also have a little ring light. Sometimes I don't quite have the energy to lug the giant ring light in here. I have my printer. I use that to print patterns, shipping labels, whatever. And then various collection of sharp and stabby things for my cutting. I also do all my ironing in this room. Now let's talk about the fabric stash and closet number 2. So here is some of my fabric. When we moved into this house, I was really excited about these shelves because I figured I could fit a lot of my fabric on there. Little did I know it didn't actually hold that much of it. We have closet number 2, and you know what that is? Take a guess. What do you think that is? That is my Her Universe build, which cannot be hung up, so it rests on top of my vacuum cleaner. Yep, that's Carmen on a vacuum cleaner. Anyways, then we have my She-Ra sword, my Captain America wheel covers. All of this is spare fabric, so I have 3 whole bins just full of spare fabrics and stuff like that. Here are my long-term storage costumes. So these are costumes I just am too sentimental to get rid of, or I don't see myself wearing for a while. I probably won't wear the Christmas one until Christmas comes around again. You can see like my Nami cosplay. I just love her too much to get rid of her, but I don't really see myself wearing her for a while. And then on this side, there's like a full length place. So this is where I have all my long dresses. So there's Lucille, my She-Ra dress is back there, and my Elsa dress is back there. Oh, also, there's my Carmen hat. Yep, I told you she's a little bit of everywhere. But that is the new crafting space. I'm really blessed to have 2 rooms dedicated to crafting and have such a big, wonderful house. We love it here. I hope this was entertaining, enjoyable, helpful. I don't know, gives you a sliver of hope that one day you too will move out of sewing in the basement. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!